Disclaimer. This is a work of satirical fiction. Any resemblance to real places or situations is purely coincidental and exaggerated for comedic effect. The story intentionally contains factual inaccuracies and absurdities as part of its artistic expression.
Well, no apples today. She's taken off in a caravan to our next location, which you'll probably see fairly soon. Non-stop moving around during this apocalypse. But I thought I should come out after all the craziness in the markets lately. Lots of actually interesting stuff going on, aside from the markets as well. So I thought I should get caught up before the next thing happens, because I think the next thing's about to happen. Like, I'm recording this on, what day is it? I think it's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday afternoon, total like middle of the day afternoon, because we got to go soon. So I'm going to get cooked out here, which I actually don't mind. And at the moment, it looks like the markets are about to collapse again. This time, the bank stocks, possibly. We'll see. But so much going on. And I've actually had a lot more time to look into what happened on Friday with the most insane crypto crash ever, with Bitcoin having its first $20,000 red candle, but actually all the other cryptos got massively destroyed. Some of them 99.5%, many of them 70 to 80%. And then they bounced, but now actually they're coming back down again. I'll get into that in a second. But the more that I looked into it, I actually wrote about all this in the Dollar Vigilante newsletter. So I'm actually not going to say too much in this video, because I got a lot to cover in this video. But check out the newsletter, dollarvigilante.com/subscribe. You can even get a free trial, dollarvigilante.com/free trial. I have both those links down below. And you can see the latest issue, and I actually talked a lot about it. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into it too much, except for to say that it was pretty clear that the Trump regime did that on purpose to make a ton of money. Like billions for, Howard Butnick, who stands right beside Trump all the time. The tweet went out that they're going to do this crazy tariff with China again, which is pretty normal, actually. It shouldn't have caused a crash. But they also sold tons at that time and put in massive shorts. At exactly 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Friday, which is exactly the time the stock market's closed. So it didn't really hurt the stock market. And by Sunday, Trump had already put out another tweet saying he was just joking. But in the meantime, a lot of people were dead who killed themselves because they lost everything. Kind of stupidly, because you shouldn't be leveraged. You shouldn't have all of your net worth on a crypto exchange in one coin. But a lot of people did. There's even a Ukrainian guy who lost 30 million, and he actually completed the crypto investor life cycle of being fairly broke in Ukraine, probably got a bunch of money, probably could through all the money laundering stuff that goes through Ukraine. Most people in Ukraine are massively rich now. Not most, but a lot. Like, it's all Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces and stuff. That's all the US taxpayer money, Canadian taxpayer money, all the hundreds of billions of dollars that have been sent there. Not that it all goes to those people, but they're definitely getting some of it. So he went from nothing to having like $30 million in crypto, but then he was leveraged on just like one or two coins. And with the flash crash, he lost absolutely everything. And like I said, he completed the crypto investor life cycle because he then went into his Lamborghini, according to reports, and shot himself in the head in his Lamborghini, which I don't mean to laugh. I'm sure that sucks for his friends and family and stuff, and for him at that time. Can't even imagine. But but here's the thing. It was all done as part of basically another operation, another thing that they plan out and do. You can see that very clearly. I talk about it all in the newsletter, so you can get more information on that if you want. But it was so insane that one of the tweets that went the most viral during that time was how this one crypto trader, just seconds before the tweet went out, put in hundreds of millions of dollars, or like massive amounts of shorts on crypto just seconds before, and within about like 5 minutes made $80 million. And then the next day, Forbes put out that Baron Trump, of all people, the son of Donald Trump, who's like 9 feet tall and obviously a Nephilim, just like Donald Trump's dad. They're not really human. But Forbes put out that Baron Trump has made $80 million in the crypto market. Just letting everyone know that that's what happened there. They're just making a bunch of money, just like, Donald Trump did with Trump coin. Just rugged his people. So funny how he just rugged people for like billions of dollars. I actually set to short it, by the way, at $70. It's now $5. I just keep nailing these things. And so yeah, Baron Trump, all of a sudden, the report has made $80 million right after this weekend. And there was a bit of a bounce, as you would expect after such a massive wipeout. But now the cryptos are heading back down again. Just in the last 24 hours, $500 million has been liquidated from the crypto market. I should point out, Jim Cramer nailed it again right before the crash. Buy crypto. It's incredible how he does that. Here's another sort of a bizarre 3D video game sort of a thing. Here's a post from 2023. It was December 2023 on 12/12. It said the all-time high from 2015 to 2017 was 1,064 days. The all-time high from 2017 to 2018 was 364 days. The all-time high from 2018 to 2021 was 1,064 days. The all-time high from 2021 to 2022 was 364 days. And it says the pattern would print this cycle's all-time high on the 6th of October 2025. People want to believe otherwise, but the simulation will repeat itself. So that post was like from 2 years ago, and it said the all-time high of this cycle would be on October 6th based on past patterns. And drumroll please, as of right now, the all-time high was on October 6th at just over 126,000. That's pretty incredible too. So many incredible things going on. But as of right now, it's looking like what I said before was that this crypto crash was not like the end of the major events. It's actually just the beginning of them. And we're going to see everything starting to crash. This is what a lot of my last few videos have all been about. And it looks like at the moment that it could be the bank stocks. Liquidity borrowed from the Federal Reserve standing repo facility increased to $8.35 billion. This means yesterday wasn't a one-off like before. Liquidity is quickly drying up in the banking system because of the U.S. government shutdown. And here's today a lot of the smaller bank stocks. Western Alliance down nearly 10%. Bank of California down 7%. Eastern Banks down 4%. And a bunch of others also down 4%. I don't know if those banks are going to have some sort of a crisis right away. It could. But it's coming. It's all coming. This entire system is a house of cards. And they've already told us well ahead of time where it's all headed. They know this as well. The people who control the central banks know that this whole system's going to have to collapse. And they even started telling us about stuff like this in 2013, what the actual plan is. Remember seeing these ads back like 10 years ago? HSBC, your DNA will be your data. Yeah, and they're going to wipe out this whole system. It's going to be like the Great Reset, or what I call the controlled demolition of basically the entire world, Western civilization, and bring in their CBDC types things, programmable digital currency, UBI, all these sort of things. And they're already preparing for all this stuff. So I remember back in 2022, all the red people, the red elephant people, were all going crazy. We'll never allow digital IDs, CBDCs, police states, the pharma cartel, big pharma, Department of Defense, got to bring the troops home, mass surveillance. But they did it again. Now in 2025, all the people with the red hats, we like real ID, stable coins, law and order, the Pfizer cartel, the Department of War, defending our borders, because they're all under mind control. It's incredible. It's so incredible to watch all this stuff happening. And it's also been incredible to see gold, because I've been in the gold market in one way or another for about 25 years. I started buying around $300. It's now $4,500. And Ed Bugos at the Dollar Vigilante has been recommending it ever since the year 2000, when it was like $250. And I've never seen anything like this. But this is what we were expecting to happen. So gold is a canary in the coal mine, you could say, in the coal mine. That if something's like about to break or there's a major financial crisis coming, you'll often see it in the gold market first, because people who know about this stuff, they're pretty intelligent, and because they're intelligent, they're into gold. Because they know that's one of the ways that will save them from everything that's coming. And gold's been going up. It looks like a meme coin. It's up hundreds of dollars a day lately, which is so insane. It's around 4,500 at the moment. I should point out, Ed Bugos had his price target of it for about $5,000 for right around now. So he nailed it again. Then you have silver, which is starting to go even more ballistic. It's up around $54 now, way past its all-time highs. And what are the things that are a main part of our portfolio at the Dollar Vigilante, in case you didn't know? Gold, silver, gold and silver stocks, which have also been going up hundreds of percent this year. And crypto, but actually, if you subscribe to the Crypto Vigilante, Mr. A at the Crypto Vigilante has been saying to take profits on your cryptos for the last month, so we timed that as well. And if you really want to know where all this stuff's going, or at least have a chance to get an idea of where it's going, it's not like we have a crystal ball, but man, our team is always nailing this stuff, and we're right on top of it. So if you're sitting there going, I don't know if I should sell all my crypto or buy more crypto, or sell all my gold or buy more gold, the best information out there by far, nothing even comes close, is the Dollar Vigilante and the Crypto Vigilante newsletter. So go to dollarvigilante.com, cryptovigilante.io, and give yourself a chance to survive what's happening and also profit from it, which I've even been doing lately. I shorted Bitcoin around 112,000 when it bounced up there, and just covered it at 108,000. That was based on the Crypto Vigilante analyst advice in the Vigilante Insider Club, which, by the way, sold out. So it's completely full now. So unless the club members agree to increase the amount of members, you'll never get in unless someone dies or something. Although we'll see what happens. People's lives change. Some of the people in the group, probably are doing their self-work and meditation. They might actually just end up going and not even caring about the world anymore. If that's the case, then you might be able to get in. But anyway, it's already sold out. So now your only chance to get our information is with our newsletters. So definitely go and take advantage of that. They're not expensive at all. And that's for a reason too, by the way. I want as many people as possible to get this information. Like, really, our newsletters, for how valuable they are, they should be double, triple, quadruple the price. Everyone tells me that. Or more. But keep trying to get you guys this information. And I see so many people just so confused about what's going on. And I just keep thinking, if they had our newsletters, they'd have a way better idea of what's going on. So you have gold and silver skyrocketing right now. That's a huge signal that something's going on. And most of the cryptos are going down again, except for one sector, which is also another sector that we have in our portfolio at the Dollar Vigilante. We've been just killing it. Just everything's for us has been just making money, which is what we do, and that's why you should subscribe. But the one sector of crypto, like, everything's down. Absolutely everything. There's only a few coins on Earth that have been up in the last week, and they're all privacy coins, except for one, Zcash. I know what some people might be thinking. I thought Zcash was a privacy coin. Not really. And I'll get into that in a second. It's actually the cabal, the cult's way of trying to fool people to think it's a privacy coin and get the capital to go there instead of into the really good privacy coins that are true privacy coins. And I say it's not a privacy coin because it's optional. And there's so many things I could say about that, but when most of the transactions that go through aren't private. And so because of that, it makes anyone who even tries to do a private transaction less private. And hardly anyone actually does use Zcash with its privacy feature. John Foss said, over the past year, Monero processed roughly 180 times more private transaction than Zcash's shielded pool. For every one private Zcash transaction, there are 150 to 200 Monero transactions achieving full on-chain privacy. But just like you see so many people out there promoting Israhell, getting their $7,000 a post checks, there's a bunch of people out there who get paid to promote Zcash and say it's a privacy coin and it's the best privacy coin when it's not even close. It's not even really a privacy coin. And you can tell because it's actually listed on almost every exchange, whereas Monero's blacklisted almost everywhere, so is Pirate Chain, because they do not want anyone to ever use those coins. That actually can destroy their entire system. It's actually what I thought Bitcoin was in 2011. But that got co-opted by MasterCard, World Economic Forum, those sort of people in 2017. That's what Roger Ver wrote his book about, hijacking Bitcoin. They put him in jail for the last few years for even bringing it up. It's incredible how that happens. But Zcash is listed everywhere, except for on privacy coin exchanges like TradeOgre, which was like one of the top privacy coin exchanges in the world. And then the Canadian government stole all the funds and killed the guy who ran it. See how serious? Like, if you're just watching this going, hey, he's talking about privacy coins, no big deal. No, it's a pretty big deal. If people start using them, which I've been saying for how long now, their whole system comes down. The banksters are gone. The whole cabal of the cult, they lose most of their power. Because it's called currency for a reason. It's actually energy. And if you're using dollars or euros or Mexican pesos or whatever, you're actually feeding the system that's trying to enslave and kill you. And you can just stop doing that. But you'd have to learn, you have to get a new wallet. I know it's hard. So yeah, just get enslaved, get killed. But they know that, and that's why they are trying to fool everyone into thinking Zcash is like the place to go to. But like I said, Zcash is on every exchange. It has no problems whatsoever, of course. And if you go to even try to withdraw Zcash on any of these exchanges, they won't let you do it privately, which just shows you it's not a privacy coin, because if you're trying to even get it off almost any exchange, they won't let you do it, except for if it's not private. And the reason is that's how they want the people who control all these things. They also put in all the rules and regulations, like the Trump regime, the Biden regime, all them. It's not even them. It's the people who control them. And so you can't even withdraw Zcash privately. And that's what they want. So it's not a privacy coin really at all. And of the privacy coins, it's like the worst. But because the cult is pushing it and paying people off to talk about it, boosting the algorithms, all that sort of stuff, Zcash has been one of the only coins that's been up in the last week. But actually another coin that's actually a true awesome privacy coin, Pirate Chain, is one of the other ones. And even as I just left, it's up again today. It's up over 200% in the last 3 months, but just in the last week, it's up something like 50%, while most coins are down 10 to 50%. So that's very cool. Pirate Chain's coming back to life. And I don't know where it's going to go immediately, especially if the crypto market crashes, but you definitely might want to start looking into it. What I would do, actually, the Crypto Vigilante just put out a full one-day event on privacy coins. So you really should learn about it. It might actually save your life. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It'll definitely save your wealth. Because they're going to get all these things all controlled and then just take it all from people. And rug everything and then that sort of a thing. And one of your only chances to keep some of your wealth will be with privacy coins. So you might want to take some time and go to tcvsummit.com. Take a few hours, learn about the privacy coins, learn how to use them, learn what's going on in the market. Because I recommended Bitcoin at $3 in 2011. I recommended Ethereum at $2 in 2016. What am I now telling you? You should be looking at privacy coins. If they perform anything like the other ones, it's going to be incredible. Now, it might not happen right away, but it could happen over the next couple of years for sure. And it could save your life. It might make you a lot of money and save your life. You might want to just at least look into it. Anyway, I know you probably won't. I know most people don't listen to anything I say. And what can I do? But at least I tried. I can say that much. But we should get back into the other psyops. So the whole Charlie Kirk thing's kind of gone. You notice that? Well, not completely, but most of the hubbub about it is kind of gone away now. And that's how they do it. All they need to do is outlast people. A lot of people, like millions of people, didn't believe the official story and probably still don't. But do you hear about a lot of them talking about it anymore? Not really. Because they're not, what else can you say? It obviously wasn't what they said it was. And they brought out Erica Kirk to accept the Presidential Medal of Freedom, of course. And here she is, again, acting like she's crying, but with no tears, and you can totally tell that with her makeup. And this time she actually wore black, because at her memorial event, it was like a white suit, and a lot of people just brought that up, like, it's like her husband's funeral. It's pretty common to wear like black at your family member's funeral. But she wore white, so they probably checked all the algorithms and said, okay, well, we have her at the White House, better put her in black.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Charles James Kirk. Accepting on behalf of Charlie is his wife, Mrs. Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential American political figures of his generation. At just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA and grew it into the largest conservative youth organization in the nation. For over a decade, he tirelessly traveled the country, leading a movement to restore respect for our founding principles, reawaken our national identity, and inspire a renewed spirit of religious devotion. He was one of the great debaters and communicators of his time. Despite receiving repeated threats, he remained undeterred and modeled courage, logic, humor, and grace to the next generation. On September 10th, 2025, at age 31, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while addressing a group of students. The United States honors him as a martyr for truth and freedom.
And while she was there, they actually brought Kash Patel over to tell everyone they got it all solved. There's nothing else to look into. Kash actually just put out his own coin or something. It's a human skull with a bunch of guns on it saying Kash Patel. And a lot of people who are red elephant people have no idea. That is basically a sign to you that they're coming for you. I know a lot of them still don't think so. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it's pretty clear. It's very clear. It's incredible. Like, this is all mind control and magic tricks, really. They've got people cheering for basically a police state now, rolling out the military in the streets. For my next act, I'll make freedom-loving small government conservatives defend a police state. Yeah, and here's Kash Patel, Kash at Patel, saying, oh yeah, we wrapped up the Charlie Kirk stuff. We got the kid. Makes no sense. It's the craziest conspiracy theory I've ever heard. Except for 9/11, that's even more crazy. But listen to what he says. He brings up the 33 again. It's like every single time. I guess they're just like putting it in people's faces. And your average person still won't have any clue. When he says, oh, we got him in 33 hours, your average person's like, go FBI, go get him. And he also brought up that, just like how they got the Boston Marathon bombing guy, which that was crazy. If you remember that was like 2013. And it was all fake. No one died, or none of those people you thought got blown up died. Actually, it was all fake blood and everything. It was a show. Because
we create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. And the world is our stage.
And then they had the whole country all wrapped up watching for the days as they rolled tanks all around Boston, looking for this kid. Sound familiar? Well, that's what Kash Patel said. It's like, we got him again.
Thank you. And then Director Patel, there's been so many conspiracy theories swirling around about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do you have any updates for us, especially in light of all the online content that everyone's been talking about?
The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts. And we delivered at record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours. And if you put that in perspective, Luigi Mangione, with the Boston bomber, they took them 5 days and a police officer lost their life in their manhunt. We are running on absolutely every single lead, and the best thing we can do to honor my friend Charlie Kirk's life is to make sure that everyone involved is prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and that's what we're focused on, investigating the facts, not trading in conspiracy theories.
Yeah, Kash, you got him in 33 hours, just like you got the Boston Marathon bombing kid. When it happened in 2013, I said it was not what they said it was, obviously, and it wasn't. But back then, I didn't even do these walk and talk videos or anything, so I didn't really have the opportunity to talk too much about it. So maybe I should just mention that here for any of you who didn't ever look into that. That was one of the most fake events ever.
Conducted a multiple agency mock drill scenario of a bomb exploding at the finish line of the Boston Marathon with the FBI, Secret Service, ATF, State Police, and a multitude of government agencies multi-coordinating the event from a bunker alongside the marathon course in Framingham. Almost exactly 1 year later, on April 15, 2013, the exact same scenario was played out in Boston at the finish line with the same multiple government agencies overlooking the marathon in the same exact bunker. Only this time, the drill was passed off as real. We were told by the corporate news media that 2 Muslim boys used children's toys to sophisticatedly remote detonate 2 shrapnel-contained pressure cooker bombs in backpacks, exploding just seconds apart on Boylston Street during the Boston Marathon, in some instances causing jeans to be shredded but legs to miraculously remain intact. The bombing paralleled a government training exercise dubbed Operation Urban Shield. The scenario? Terrorists fleeing from police in a citywide chase, bombers tracked by street surveillance, false leads presented to keep investigators guessing. Participants were recruited from Northeastern University, and the major clue of the exercise was finding the body of one of the terrorists near a stolen car. What a coincidence that the body of one Boston bomber was ran over by a Northeastern student's stolen car. Operation Urban Shield was canceled after the bombing because, well, the scenario already played itself out.
This is a pressure cooker bomb, similar to the bombs in Boston, and we're about to set it off.
3, 2, 1.
The material was flying out at faster than the speed of sound, faster than the speed of sound, faster than the speed of sound.
The bombs were described as supersonic, ripping through flesh like butter, but were not powerful enough to damage the tiny tree it was sitting next to, the mailbox it was sitting next to, the flags that lined up on Boylston Street, or even so much as knock over plastic cups and bottles sitting ever so gently on tiny round tables. This was a day when dozens of people snapped pictures of victims writhing in pain instead of helping those in distress.
And that's just a few minutes. You go for hours on all the stuff that is clearly fake about that Boston, so-called Boston Marathon bombing. But it had all the hallmarks of everything. Just like with the Charlie Kirk, they had their CIA Mossad sort of agent guy who said he was the killer immediately. And he actually was at 9/11. So they just recycle these crisis actors over and over. And you might not even know this. Most people probably don't. During that Boston Marathon hoax bombing, you'll never guess who they had on the television media who happened to be there.
Lena Wen, she's an emergency room physician who was working at Massachusetts General Hospital the day of the terror attack. She also works at Brigham and Women's Hospital. So you were at Massachusetts General Monday. What happened?
Oh, it was a horrific day. We had no idea what was coming. It was 3 o'clock and we heard that there were 2 explosions, but we didn't know where. We had no idea how many people were coming to us.
How many people came?
It seemed like dozens, and it was. It was probably nearly 3 dozen patients in 2 hours or so.
And was the hospital ready for it? I had heard from Dr. Walls from the other Brigham and Women's Hospital that because of all the drills the hospitals here have been running since 9/11, you were unbelievably prepared.
Technically and medically, we were ready. We had done drills. We knew what to do with each individual patient who came in.
Yeah, I recognize her. She was on the television programming for years telling people to inject themselves with poison. She also happened to be at the Boston Marathon hoax bombing. They think everyone's stupid, and they are. Most people don't know this. And even if people who know it forget about it or don't do anything about it or don't even tell anyone or don't do anything. So they just keep doing it over and over. And one of the craziest things about the Boston bombing hoax was it was actually featured in Family Guy like a week before, and it down to exact. Like it looked exactly the same as the actual event that happened after the cartoon went out.
I'm Bob Costas, here with Boston Marathon winner Peter Griffin. Peter, how did you do it?
I'll tell you, Bob, I just got in my car and drove it. And when there was a guy in my way, I killed him.
I wasn't really looking forward to this night, but I had a blast.
Well, call the bomb squad, because with the blast I had, that makes 2 blasts.
Now, what are the chances of that happening? 0.
0.
Did you know the creator of the show Family Guy, who I'm pretty sure is Jewish, named Seth MacFarlane, or maybe he's not Jewish. MacFarlane doesn't sound too Jewish. But he's a useful guy at the very least. He's in the big club. He was supposed to be on one of the planes that they say hit one of the trade towers during 9/11. Was the creator of Family Guy supposed to be on one of the planes during 9/11? Yes, Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, was scheduled to be on American Airlines Flight 11 on September 11, 2001. The first plane hijacked and crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. He had been in Boston for a voice acting gig and was booked to fly back. But because of a combination of a hangover from the night before and a mix-up with his travel agent and a text from his Jew friends, he decided not to go on that flight. Neither did Mark Wahlberg, by the way. They all got a call. So yeah, all that's the Boston Marathon hoax bombing that Kash Patel just brought up as how they're doing it again. Are you starting to get it yet? And not to believe the crazy conspiracy theories. Believe the crazy conspiracy theories of the government, which are the craziest. They're totally the craziest. It's wild times. So with all this markets crashing and stuff and all the interesting things going on, I found it really interesting when I heard, first of all, that Donald Trump and all these world leaders were going to Egypt. And right around that exact same time, I saw this huge light show right in front of the pyramids in Giza, which are incredibly important sort of portals. They had the sigil of Lucifer right over the top. They have the Masonic pillars. But that's not all. Then they have a giant robot come up and smash out, like he's smashing out from beyond the firmament into this realm, which is so symbolic of this AI sort of takeover that they're trying to do. So just like with that tunnel opening in Switzerland, They had all the world leaders go there and they did all this satanic ceremony for them. And so this time, they sent all the world leaders, who are actually misleaders, over to Egypt and right at the same time do this massive, massive satanic ritual. At the same time, they all show up, and they're showing up to sign a peace treaty, which, first of all, there was no war. You can't have a peace treaty when there was no war. Israel attacked itself. This is common sense. Then they tried to genocide everyone in Palestine, and now they're trying to say they're the heroes and they're going to win the Nobel Peace Prize because they've killed over 400,000 children under 5 years old. Just think about that for a second. How sick that is. 400,000. That's like the size of a pretty decent sized city of children that they've killed. And now they're all going to Egypt, having their satanic ritual, and then signing their peace treaties. Yeah, when they're saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. That's from Thessalonians 5:3. And what's the Bible? Script. Sure. Script. This is all part of a giant script. It's a 3D video game. It's all laid out, and only those with eyes to see and ears to hear can ever even come close to figuring it out and actually rising above it all and actually escaping this matrix. But so they go to sign their peace deal when there was no war. There never was a war. So that's all basically lies to build Trump towers and continue to attack and kill other places and stuff like that. And remember how a lot of these $7,000 post Twitter people have been talking for years. If they just released the hostages, then they'd stop the genocide. Well, the whole hostage thing is all basically a lie as well. Would it surprise you? You'd have to be just only surprised if anything they say was true. That's the only rational thing to do at this point. If they ever say anything that's true, then you go, holy cow, I'm shocked. Because it never is. It was all made up. And so they kind of had this big show of releasing a bunch of hostages. And here's one of the Israeli hostages, by the way, supposedly being released by Hamas, which is a Mossad operation. Everyone looks so happy, including the hostage. He looks super healthy. He's like kissing everyone. They're all like best friends. And this is what they killed like 1 million people in Gaza over. It's so BS, all this stuff. But of course, Donald Trump was then in Israel. And he was thanking all the people who donated hundreds of millions of dollars to him. And he was just pointing them out in the crowd. And he even pointed out that his top bribe person that gave him $200 million for all the people who are like America First sort of stuff out there. This is the person who basically controls Donald Trump. And he just points out, he's like, yeah, they don't care about the U.S., they care about Israel.
Broken promises from many other American presidents, you know that. They kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem.
And then right around the same time, Trump's in the beast. They don't even try to hide these things. With Satan Netanyahu, and that's not even his real name, and he's not a Semite, and he's not from Israel. He's from Poland. But they made the point of them both going into the car they call the Beast to, do you not see what's going on here? Satanic ritual, they're in the Beast, they're rolling out the AI kill grid with Peter Thiel, which I'll get into in a second. It's all incredibly obvious. But here they are in the beast. And here's something interesting. Then Donald Trump goes and signs a book or something. Or maybe it was like some sort of a treaty. I don't know what it was. But he goes and signs something with Netanyahu, and his wife's there, and his wife, I don't know what that thing is. That thing is creepy to look at. But here's something interesting. So he signs it, and then she, quite overtly, in my opinion, does a movement like this, like they're gonna slit everyone's throats.
Okay. I'm perfect.
We'll be here and then everyone should fall back.
Those people are so evil. They just had the big satanic ritual. They're in the beast. Then she's like basically showing the world that they're going to kill us all of us goyim. It's just incredible. If you watch the news, they're like, what a hero Donald Trump is. If you go online on X or anything, it's like, Donald Trump's such a hero. He stopped the war. There was no war. He basically helped kill all those people in Gaza. And they're not going to build basically Gaza Lago with Jared Kushner's actually in charge of it, and Tony Blair, some of the most evil people on earth. But if you go online, most of the stuff is like, oh, it's so great. What a hero Trump is. It's incredible. And AI has, a lot of negative aspects to it, but it also has some positive ones. And one of the positives is you can actually get decent news now thanks to AI.
Good news, guys.
Well, big news for us. We are getting paid $7,000 for this episode.
Israel is our greatest ally.
Don't mention Jackie either.
It truly is a field day for influencers supporting Israel. We'd like to call it the Genocide Gold Rush. What brings you here?
$7,000, baby.
Why does nobody talk about how bad the sand people are? All these other influencers are anti-Semitic. It's like, look up the definition of genocide.
Good point. Right, John.
That's right, Goyim. Enjoy your shekels while they last. But first off, we need to crack down on the rampant anti-Septicism. And let's hear from my boy Satan, who's definitely not a war criminal.
Now, given the anti-Semitism at the UN, it should surprise no one that the prosecutor at the ICC is considering issuing arrest warrants against me and Israel's defense minister. It's hard to explain by anything other than pure anti-Semitism.
Pure anti-Septicism.
Yeah, you definitely didn't keep him in an open-air prison and starve him.
Exactly. Keep spinning it, Satan. You're on a roll.
Until this anti-Semitic swamp is drained, the real war criminals are not in Israel. They're in Iran. They're in Gaza, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen.
Oh, no. Looks like the Muslims are going to come for us next.
Only if the chosen people kick them out and open our borders.
True.
Let's go to Jackie reporting live from Gaza.
Jackie won't make it. Now, sand people, why are you so evil?
You have to help us.
Right. I'm taking your home, by the way.
They must be so happy you're there to document their story, right, Producer Steen?
Hurry, quick, brother. I might have left my pager in there. Can you believe they said, help me?
Producer Berg's assistant's been acting kind of weird ever since he left to Israel.
Straight up, ever since Jackie went missing.
Active investigation leads us to Captain Dan, who says,
we have the body.
Thanks, Chloe. So we saw the surveillance camera of Producer Berg throwing a big bag into the dumpster behind the station. I sent one of my officers out to look at it, and we have it here behind me for investigation. That's weird. I didn't know there was a pager.
Shut it down! You can find Jackie's body bag next to the Epstein files, and up yours goy.
Meanwhile, here in Mexico, the Jewish president, which makes no sense, but, a lot of people died during the selections, and now there's a Jewish president. It's just how it is. And she just came out and said she wants to put people in jail for what they say on the internet and memes and stuff. First of all, no, bitch. That's not going to happen, okay? You can say it. You do it. I know what these people are going to do to you. That's why I love Mexico. But I found that interesting because I'm making these videos. I'm pointing out all this stuff that even the Mexican president is starting to crack down on. And then I saw this from Canada, where I still have a slave card from, and I grew up there. North Bay man jailed in landmark case for Holocaust denial. Kenneth Pullen sentenced to 9 months in jail after 2 years probation, after dozens of anti-Semitic social media posts. That just happened. So I don't know, are they going to try to put me in jail in Mexico? That'd be my preference, by the way. It's way better here, and I'll get out in 2 seconds. And a bunch of people probably kill all the government people. The worst would be Canada, because no one's going to stand up for you there. They're all whip dogs. And really no chance to even get out. So, but a very interesting time. So now in Canada, if you even say, 6 million people, clearly, impossibly could not have, it's not possible. If you say the impossible, if you pointed out it was impossible, they're now putting you in jail. They already did with that Son of Enos guy. Now they put another guy in jail just for pointing it out. You starting to see where this is all going yet? That's why the Israeli crime minister's wife did this. Because they're coming for everybody. And I'm ready for them. I'm not worried at all. It's going to be fun, actually, if they want to try to take it up a notch. But anyway. Oh, so I mentioned in one of my videos, I don't remember when, I'm just going through these so fast lately, that if anyone can find actual footage of Peter Thiel doing his lecture about how he's not the Antichrist in San Francisco, because there's none on the internet. Zero. I just looked the other day, I can't find anything. I know a few people tagged me and even sent me emails and stuff and said, hey Jeff, I found it, he sent me my $1,000 in Monero. And it was like an old interview where he talked about the Antichrist. No, I'm looking for actual footage of him speaking in San Francisco, saying that he's not the Antichrist and that Greta Thunberg is. That is the craziest. I want that so bad. I still have it out there. If you have video, so it's going to have to be somebody who recorded against, the rules and regulations, maybe with their Google Glass. Everyone in San Francisco's got those. If any of those people, but of course the kind of people who go to that, unless they're like me and they're just going for a laugh, which, is possible, but it was like $800 or something, right? It's all people who are all on this beast system. So they're not going to send me video of him looking like a complete and total idiot for $1,000 in Monero, right? So I'm starting to lose hope we're ever going to find that actual footage, which is just a tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy. That would have been gold. I mean, gold. Him just stuttering, saying, I'm not the Antichrist, Greta Thunberg's the Antichrist. If you try to stop Palantir, then you're the Antichrist. It's like, oh, if I had that video, I'd be so happy to watch that. But South Park actually did a video on it, so I guess we have that. They're mostly just doing the left-right thing, and they got paid $1 billion. One of the South Park guys a Jew, and they're just making fun of Donald Trump, and left, right. It's too bad. Anyway, crazy times. And who knows what's going to happen. This financial stuff's going to get super interesting, and you should make sure you subscribe to our newsletters. It's going to be one of the only ways you'll have a chance to survive what's going to be happening. And obviously, if you can, try to get something like the Tesla machine. Like, plasma's back. This is so huge. I don't think people realize how huge it is. And I've seen a few people commenting online and, it's too expensive. First of all, do you know how hard it is to do what they're doing? I've seen it. There's 50 plus people working there and getting it by all the governments, doing all the transactions through non-traditional means because they're going to get shut down any other way but cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Also dealing with all the problems because basically this is a brand new sort of a thing. So if there is problems, they fix it. That costs them money. They're shipping it all over the world. So if you actually knew, and also the risk of it, no one knows who's really doing it. And there's a reason for that, because it's highly dangerous. So they're risking their lives. They're trying to get these plasma machines out to people. If there's any problems with them, especially in the first year, they'll send you a new one. They've had to do that for a number of them. So there's all kinds of costs involved. They don't even know how long these machines might run. But I can say that it's definitely more than a year and a half because that's what I've had with mine, and they haven't broken down. But even if it does break down, you can fix it pretty easy. Most of the parts are not like a $3,000 part or anything. They're actually not that expensive, the parts. And so if it does break down, they'll help you to get it fixed and all that. And they got support teams. They've got the whole group. So it's actually pretty incredible that they can do this. And, it's not even just the machine either. It's actually the most incredible health and science club on earth. Like, most people are just going to their doctors and stuff, and their doctors are basically trying to kill them and charging them like millions of dollars or $20,000 a year for their health insurance to get their poison. Whereas you can go into a group like the Tesla and everyone in there helps you. It's like having like 1,000 people in a health club all helping you with your problems. And they've been helping so many people. And so that too makes it so incredible. Because like I said, if you think about it, most people just go and they pay to go visit their doctor, usually thousands of dollars each time, only to find the doctor is there just to prescribe addictive drugs. He doesn't help you with anything social, no growth, no expansion of consciousness. He basically just gives you poison. So in many ways, this is like the new health insurance. And it's cheaper than health insurance. And it cures everything. And the big pharma stuff doesn't cure anything. It just makes you sicker and sicker. It might stop some symptoms for a while, but then it's going to be worse. But this actually basically cures everything. Now, maybe not everything and maybe not immediately, but in general, that's what it does. And also de-ages you. So for anyone out there, it's like, it's a little too expensive, or, I could do, this or that, or it's a scam, it's just light bulbs. It's crazy. Anyway, I gotta leave it there. Most people in this world are so under mind control, and even when you try to do good things, they just attack you like crazy. That's actually how you know you're doing good things, is when they're attacking you. And that's everything I've been doing for basically the last 20 years, has been attacked by the system, and actually even by the brainwashed people, the NPCs, who are all running on programs by the system. They're under mind control. And the paid bots and all that kind of stuff. That's all I keep doing. And what do I really try to help you realize is that nothing in this world that you think is real is actually really real. Like authority, government, central banks, fiat currencies, these are all scams. And that's really what I try to help people wake up to and actually do the work so that you can actually grow your discernment, get your connection to source, and actually get all these downloads. That's actually the most incredible thing. And the Tesla actually helps with that. But most of my life, I've been like this horse here. I'm the one just standing there trying to tell all the other horses, you don't have to walk in circles forever, right? It's all an illusion. And they're all like, you're stupid, you're a scammer. That's my life, but I don't mind at all. I don't mind it. It doesn't hurt me. You can say anything like that you want, because I know it's not true. It's like, oh, he's trying to like scam people. No, I'm not. I know that. But I should mention too that antAIchrist's got an incredible event coming up. It's a 2-day event that's going to be on October 25th and 26th, called Expressions of Freedom. Now, here's the thing. The thing that the system and the thing that controls the system doesn't want you to know is how incredible you are, how amazing you are, and how you can create anything you want. They want to keep you with your Saturn cube hat, keep you in your box, keep you in your debt, keep watching your television programming, and for you to never figure out how incredible you can do and be anything you want. And what's that called? That's called creativity. Creation. That's actually what we all are and what we all can do, but so many people have forgotten it. So antAIchrist is going to have a 2-day event. And it's going to have so many incredible people on it, all talking about how they've created things that have changed the world. And I think many of you will find it incredibly inspiring and even give you information that you probably never even expected would help you in your life. It's going to be 2 full days of incredible people. Like, for example, Andrew Treglia is on it. He's the producer and director of Joe's Plantation and Barnum World. And so he's probably going to be talking about how he's used film to change the world. And there's so many people like that. There's even some crypto people on there, like Aaron Koenig. Probably going to be talking about art on crypto, stuff like that. How to make the world a beautiful place. Create. And if you didn't know that that's what you really are, you're here to create, then you really should watch that. And you might be like some crypto guy who's just here for like the crypto tips, who sits on your screen all day. You don't even go out into like the real world. So you're totally cut off. Your health's probably horrible. You're probably pretty depressed. You probably can barely sleep. You could probably barely connect with anyone. And then when I say something like this, you're probably like, well, I'm not interested in that. I want the crypto charts. See, the people who need it the most usually never go to the thing I'm trying to tell them they need. So if you're like that, if you're depressed, if you're kind of feeling lost, if you're feeling like you don't even know who you are or what you're supposed to be or what you're capable of, those sort of things, just watch this event. It's kind of like hypnosis in a way, because you're going to be watching there's dozens of speakers on this. This is going to be huge. Brother Ali, like a famous rapper, is going to be on there. He actually does rap schools now. And not necessarily to create schools where rappers become famous or anything, but because he shows people how to unleash their creativity through writing rap music in that particular case. And actually, Miranda of Anarchapulco took the school, and she said it changed her life dramatically. Because she used to be very withdrawn, not very social and all stuff like that. So she did stuff like that, and it really started to break her out of her shell. And now she's like performing in like circuses and stuff. So these are the kind of things that you can do. And also, most of the things you currently do are going to be gone in the next few years. If you've got a job, it's probably going to be gone, either AI or the crash. So start to learn about your creative side and start to dig into that. And it's actually something that most people have never done. And once you start to do it, you'll actually discover all kinds of incredible stuff about yourself. But I know most of you are just going to be, they're already like, yeah, I don't care. I don't want to be on it. I'm just going to watch my crypto charts. It's like, okay, tried to help again. Didn't work again. But if there's one person out there, there's two who went, hey, you know, something he said there kind of rang true to me, kind of resonated. Maybe I will spend a couple hours over like a month, watch, one a day of this Expression of Freedom event and see if I get anything out of it. It's like, there you go. There's like maybe two of you. All right, go to anarchapulco.com, go sign up. Also, by the way, we're just about to announce everything for Anarchapulco in Puerto Vallarta. It's going to be February 16th to the 20th. I'm actually going to make this the best Anarchapulco ever. In every way. You'll see. We haven't announced anything yet. Once you start to hear about it, you're going to be like, I have to be there, basically. We moved from Acapulco for our first time. I'm going to pull out all the stops. I'm going to lose more money I've ever lost on Acapulco this year. Probably. Unless people come, which is possible. But you never know. It is easier now. But anyway, so you can actually get the pre-early bird tickets there. They're going to be going up. They go up all the time. So they just keep going up as you get closer to the event. Go check it out. Check out the dates. And I pretty much guarantee you it's going to be unbelievable. Actually, there's one thing I can probably tell you that we haven't announced yet. There's like 100 things. That Christoph Melchizedek told me that he's going to do an Iboga ceremony after Anarchapulco for anyone who wants to do that. Iboga is insane. But he says you become like limitless. You become like superhuman, which is also what you do with the Tesla machine. Oh, and by the way, you know all that stuff they're doing in Egypt? I think we're going to go there and like fix it all. I'll just leave that there. I do it so much. I'm actually I'm having so much fun. And it's because I've been doing all this work. And talking about creativity, I'm going to be talking about that on the Freedoms of Expression. What do you think these videos are? This is my creation, my creativity. You ever see videos like this anywhere else? Zero. No, you got people at their desk reading their headlines or whatever. Nah, do it my way. Create it my way. Got like a cool intro theme song, which we didn't use this time because Apples isn't here. But I'm going to go see her in a couple hours. Anyway, I'll be talking about that on the event, about how I do all these things. And look at all the stuff I've created. I'm not bragging. Dollar Vigilante, Crypto Vigilante, Anarchapulco. I've helped the Tesla stuff. That probably wouldn't have been as big as it is right now without me. And there's numerous other things. I've created a 2-year-old. I don't know where he is. I actually want to go find him. Let's finish up with that. Actually, yeah, I should get going. Anyway, all that stuff at anarchapulco.com. And a lot of it can change your life. And it might sound weird to you. It's like, really? Am I really going to watch a thing about art and expression and creativity? That's not up my alley. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It will be. You have to just start. Or are you going to go to Acapulco and do a boga? Does that sound like crazy to you? It is pretty crazy. But would that potentially like blast you off to like becoming superhuman, just like with the Tesla machine? Could do. Could be. Anyway, let's go find my kid. I created him too. Oh, there he is in his room playing with his rider and Paw Patrol. Can his Paw Patrol? He's ready to go. But yeah, I created him too. Well, not really. God created him, just like everything else. But, oh, ¿cómo se llama? Manchan. All right, we'll leave it there. Get out there and create.